Hi, thanks for watching. This is a quick look at how Google views and ranks your website in the search results. By knowing how the program works, you can use it to your advantage so that way you're on the first page, so that way you're the first click and the first call when people are searching. So I've got your website pulled up here and the layout looks good. We've got all the drop-down menus, click to call works, so it's optimized for mobile. As far as Google is concerned, when it's going to rank your website, it's going to do so on two different factors. The first is the content. It's going to come in and it's going to count all the words of text on the page. It's usually looking for about 1,000 to 1,500 words because it assumes that the more information you have, the more of an expert you are. Now, while it's counting the words, it's also searching for keywords, which would be anything that somebody would type into Google search, which is usually going to be a service that you offer and in the area that you offer it in. Now, this is where the number of words in the page really comes into play because you're only allowed to have one keyword for every 100 to 150 words of text on the page. That's why, unfortunately, all these cities and towns you have listed aren't going to be picked up by Google to rank them because they don't appear organically in a sentence or paragraph. I'll touch on that a little bit later. The second way that Google is going to rank your page is based on the authority, which is basically a popularity contest. The two ways to build authority are through getting what's called a citation. That's anytime that your name, address, and phone number appear in an online directory, such as Yelp, Yellow Pages, or Better Business Bureau. Now, those are usually free to get into. It just takes some time to find them, register, and then input all the information exactly as it's shown in Google. Now, the second way to build authority is through what's called a backlink, which is where other websites link or refer back to yours. Basically acts as an endorsement that Google uses to build trust because others are vouching for you. So you can imagine it's similar to, say, a customer review. If you had 1,000 five-star reviews, customers would think pretty highly of you. Google's doing the same thing, except with computers and other websites referring back to you. So to see how this works in the search results, we type in the search field, and the first thing that pops up is what's called the Google Map Pack. This is actually a pretty important area to try to get into because anywhere from 40 to 60% of people will actually click on one of these top 3 companies. It's free to get in here. What you need to do is fill out your Google business profile. It's actually located inside the Maps app, so you can do it right from a smartphone. You want to fill out as much of the fields as possible, including the services that you offer, the areas, even your hours of operation. Then you want to continuously add photos that are geotagged within your service area, as well as posts up to your Google profile. Get as many reviews as possible, and then try to get as many of those citations, the online directories with your name, address, and phone number. You want to be listed in more directories than everybody else in here. Then underneath, this is what we call the organic search results. This is where the higher the authority or the more trust Google has in your website, the higher up in the listing that you're going to rank. So to demonstrate this, I put your website into this tool that I use, and it shows me all the things that Google finds on your site when it's rating it for the content and then also the authority. Just to define these terms a little bit, if the news station did an article that said top 10 roofers in Western Mass, and inside that article there was a link that the reader could click and it would bring them back to your website, that would be considered one referring domain. Now, just to take a look at the competition, what I did was I found the first organic search result, the highest authority page that Google found in your area, to show you what they're doing and how much content is being found. So there isn't a huge difference here. That's definitely a manageable amount of domains to be able to get to increase your authority. What's interesting though is they're actually not even from Mass. They're based out of Hartford. Also, even more interesting, the top 2 or some of the top roofers in this map pack, one of them, their webpage is not even secure. It doesn't even have an SSL certificate, so that should be fairly easy to beat. And then this one is actually using a Google site. They didn't even have somebody build their website. It's a generic Google website, which also brings no authority. It's just basically like a digital business card, which should also be something that should be relatively easy to beat compared to some national companies that have thousands of links. Now, when we look into your keywords, these are all the words and phrases that people are typing into search that are being found on your website, as well as the volume, the number of times per month that they're being searched. So what we would do here is find all the highest volume keywords of your services in your areas and make sure that those are being included on your website. So for instance, roofing companies in Massachusetts is being searched 200 times. If you were on the first page, right now you're at the 24th position. That's about 2.5, 3 pages down in Google. Unfortunately, nobody's going to find you there. If you're on the first page, 200 people would be seeing your website. If we're really conservative, we'll say 10% of those will actually click on your site and give you a call about a service. Then if we're even more conservative, and let's say only a quarter of those people actually convert into customers and get a roof done. Now we're talking 5 new customers every month just off of one keyword. Now, I don't know what the profit margin is for the jobs, but that can definitely add up to some revenue in the bottom line. So then if we did that for all the highest volume keywords that we can find in your area, it can definitely help add up to some new customers and drive some sales for you. So I hope this information was helpful and it allows you to scale your online presence over some of the competition. Please feel free to reach out if you have any questions or you'd like some further details on anything that I went through. Also, we could talk about your goals and I can do some research on my end to find out exactly what it would take for you to reach those. I always do love getting feedback as well to find out if information like this is useful for you, so please let me know your thoughts. Thanks, and I look forward to speaking with you.